Start with any questions now. Now that they know a little bit about oops, my being a Philippine-born.
Where is that? Oh, is that your? So, what should I call you? Mr. Robin or Sir Robin? Or
It's up to you, huh?
it's up to
Or
me.
if you want, you can call me Ruben. But
Mm,
I know it's hard to, you know,
Robin, Sir Robin, na
yeah,
lang.
because I know you.
I think it will be better if I call
Yeah,
you
so
Sir.
and I accept any.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like for elder or
It's for
respect.
respect.
Yeah.
And that's very important. That's one of the
So Sir Robin, why you come back here in for how many years? Also, that's your answer. Just because
61 years.
yeah, for 61 years, you figured you're coming to Philippines or visit Philippines again
Yeah. Not only
because of the vloggers that shows
yeah.
about Philippines.
Yeah, that's what uh, got me started
Yeah.
as far as my interest in returning back to the Philippines. And so for 2 or 3 years, all I did was watch the videos, like
Yes.
from the not only becoming Filipino, but also different vloggers, and that's through that after 2 or 3 years, I kind of knew just about a lot of the islands, a lot of the main areas to visit.
So how do
That's,
you find Philippines? Since like you're 5 years old, you don't see really,
yeah,
or you don't. I don't think that you remember, or do
yeah.
you remember those five?
No, I hardly remember
Yeah.
anything.
So how do you find Philippines when you are here right now?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you're listening. Even though I did leave the Philippines, uh, we moved in San Diego, California, and from there, uh, not to my surprise, 'cause I was still small, but growing up, we had a big, large Filipino community there.
Oh, so it's like you're just living in Philippines.
Right. So, obviously we're westernized, okay, growing up, there at a different, community compared to like over here in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Um, but we maintained a lot of our culture, and you know what? Our elders made sure that we did. You know, case in point, one of them was, uh, we got all the younger kids like myself growing up
Mm.
get involved in the community, Filipino community.
So all the cultures from here in Philippines, they also bring that to you
Right.
as
Like right away, not only language,
meta
although,
language.
yeah,
So
I,
you never taught how to speak Tagalog?
oh, I'm sure, like, my first 5 years I did, but, that's the elementary level.
Ah,
Okay, but then,
like
you
growing up,
move
you
to the
did.
U.S., you're going to learn the English. And that's pretty much what you're
Exactly.
going to learn and
Yeah, because
learn it well.
that's the language that you're going to use there.
Yeah. And so, I lost Ilocano or Tagalog, two
Oh yeah, me
dialects
too.
that both my parents uh, can speak.
Tagalog and Ilocano.
Right. Hmm.
They say that Ilocanos are good cook.
My dad was a good cook. He was a great cook. I learned a lot.
Oh, so you are
So
too.
learning a lot of, Filipino food was part of the upbringing. Not only food, but cultures such as dancing. I grew up dancing to Nickling and a lot of various.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is Marvic, and today we have a guest. This is my friend. What's your name?
Ruben.
Ruben. Okay. I don't want to mention his name because he always have this good name. Anyways, welcome to Domagari,
Oh, you're
Mr.
welcome.
Ruben.
Mr. Ruben. That's another thing I've been trying to get used to is hearing the word Mr.
Mr. Yeah.
Mr. Ruben.
Or Sir.
And I've accepted it because I think it's just a common thing to say to anyone, especially someone who's an
Here.
elder or yeah.
But
So
here we always address men or like you, sir. Yeah.
Oh, sir, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Especially sir, yeah, I forgot. Sir Ruben.
Uh,
Or Mr. Not too often. I should correct myself. Yeah, the use of the word sir.
sir.
So, yeah,
So
it is very
guys,
common
oh
here.
yeah. So are you Filipino American?
I'm a Filipino American at this point, but I grew up as a Filipino because I was born here
You
in the
were born.
Philippines. Yeah, so a little bit of background. I did grow up or was born at San Vicente, Ilocosur, over there in
Oh,
Luzon. It's
Ilocos.
right next to Vegan, if you're unfamiliar with San Vicente. And I was born there and left when I was 5 years old. And when I came back in August, that was after 61 years
61
of having
years.
left. Yeah. So that's why I always tell, people who I meet over here, 61 years. So they're always surprised,
Wow. Like after 61 years, you just came.
Yeah. And before that, during those 61 years, I really didn't think about coming to the Philippines.
What's that? You really think?
Yeah, I never thought of coming back.
Oh, you never thought.
Not until a couple of years ago.
Wow.
And that is when when YouTube came
Oh,
out.
okay.
So you started watching, all these
about
videos.
Philippines.
And especially what attracted me was those YouTubers or vloggers, they call them, who spent time here in the Philippines. And that's when I started, being attracted to the Philippines. And
because you're a Filipino and there are foreigners.
Right. And one
live
particular
here.
vlogger, his name on YouTube is, or the platform is Becoming Filipino. And I've been, I was turned on to them by my younger sister. And so I started, searching for them and started watching them. And what I found out, like, his Filipino name is Kulas, and Kumar
Oh, yeah.
is his Filipino sidekick, his friend. They both work together, though Kulas is the one who's always in front of the camera, and Kumar is the one behind the camera,
Oh,
doing
yeah,
all the technical
it's
stuff.
like he is already a Filipino citizen.
Yeah, he's already a Filipino citizen and married to a Filipina
Yes.
recently. So, yeah, and he's a Canadian, but now he's both has a dual citizenship, and
So
obviously.
you have a dual citizenship also.
Well, good thing you asked because that is something that I'm thinking of doing.
Oh, so you have only one.
Yeah, I was born as an American citizen because my dad, though he's a Filipino, he was born in Baguio,
Yeah.
and my mom's Filipina. She was born in San Vicente, where I was born, and so he had joined the U.S. Navy back in right after the World War II.
Oh,
I think 1946.
46.
And the United States Navy offered an opportunity to a lot of Filipinos.
Oh, even though they're not really an army.
Right. One of the, because they fought alongside, like my dad was part of the guerrilla, like many, he was only a teen then.
Oh, teenager.
Yeah. But anyway, after the war was over, if you look at history, the U.S. Navy offered an opportunity for Filipinos
Yeah.
to join, and as part of the deal, that they can become a U.S.
Yes.
citizen, naturalized.
Oh,
And so that's what my dad took advantage of, like many other Filipinos.
what a privilege.
Yeah, so that was 1946, and after 4 years, in 1950, he was naturalized American citizen.
Oh, that's good.
And this was 7 years before I was born.
Oh,
So by virtue of him being a U.S. citizen, I was born into, here
American
as a U.S. citizen right away by birth. Also because my mother was a Filipina,
yeah.
a Filipino citizen, I too was, born as a Filipino citizen. So by virtue of that, I was born
Dua?
with a dual citizenship.
Oh.
However, when we left 5 years later, I know I kind of had to trace what the hell happened. How did I lose my citizenship? But you can lose your Filipino citizenship which I did because I think my parents never did any paperwork
Oh,
when before we left. That would have maintained my status as a
because you
dual
are a
citizen.
natural born Filipino.
Yeah. Now I think by law, I believe I have to, to
To
reapply and
process.
gain my, and that should be easy, particularly being
Yeah.
born here. So that I will start the process of doing that. But before that happens, I can't come to the Philippines not as a not only not as a tourist visa, but as a balikbayan visa,
Yeah.
which means I can be here up to a year
Yes. So
rather
I
than
think
just one
that
month.
will be 6 months.
Yeah,
6 months and then go back.
yeah. So 1 year, and I think that can restart again whenever you leave and come back,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
where you grew up in the
Yeah.
U.S.
It's
Yeah,
early now.
and then I can explain a little more.
Yeah, it's early now.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. It's about so you were living in USA, like California.
yeah, San Diego,
But there's
California.
also like your Filipino community there
Right.
that
And
preserve the culture of
right.
Filipino.
Oh, they made sure, particularly the elders, uh, they made sure that the youngsters like myself learn
Yes.
what
What
it
is
is
Filipino?
to be like a Filipino. Also, culture obviously was very important. We talk about religion,
Yeah.
food, dancing.
Do you really feel that you're a Filipino or you're American?
That's a very good question. Okay, because I've read those questions asked by at other Filipinos, whether they were born U.S. born Filipinos or those who were born here and went
Yeah.
abroad to the U.S. like myself. Um, oh yes, I I feel that I am very much a Filipino. Whether that's been influenced both you know uh, in the United States or here. Um, and so yeah, that is how I see myself. Not only as a Filipino, but also Filipino American. So I think I can swing back and forth.
So since you are like you have the Filipino community, so you know some of our cultures, right?
Yeah.
So what are the differences? What are some biggest cultural differences that you've noticed since
I tell you,
you're turning Philippines?
that's a good question
Yeah.
too. I think if you asked me that question, I have a different answer compared to if you had asked that to a U.S. born Filipino, particularly younger than I am. Because again, someone as old as I am, and I'm 67 now, and being born here in the U.S., you know, I was accustomed to learning what a Filipino was or is. Um, I'm talking about as a childhood, high school, college. I had a lot of influence from Filipinos, who not only were born here, but also, uh, maybe, born in the U.S. as well, but much older than I am. Those were my influences
Do
of
you,
identifying my Filipino culture. Yeah.
so when you were growing up there, like your teenager or before teenager, like elementary,
Yeah.
most of the people here, like children, plays like not digital play, like cell phone. But before, when you were born, you- here in Philippines, we play like a lot outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you also?
Oh, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
Growing up over there, you
And
know.
also when it's like December or Christmas season, kids will go out to house caroling.
Yep.
Like that.
We do the same thing.
So
I think that's more westernized. I think influence over here as well.
really, I thought that is
I don't know if it's it's a tradition now, but I think it's good to look back and see when it started and why it started. It could have been influenced by Yeah, particularly the
Part.
caroling.
Yeah.
It's in English, right?
Really? I mean, they said that most of the Filipino people, Filipino kids are those the ones that do caroling, but in
Yeah,
other country did not.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Everyone did.
Everyone.
Everyone did. No matter whether you're Filipino or not. Growing up over there at the United States, yeah, caroling was part of singing the songs, whether you go out house to house or
Yeah.
in a community event. You
So
know,
it's still like
yeah.
a Filipino life
It's
that
like
is in
it's
US.
like dancing.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys grow up, learning all the cultural dancing, from various regions? Well, we learned the same thing too. We, learned that we joined a troupe, uh, and it was,
Dance troupe.
instructed by, Filipinos who were very good and knew their stuff,
Dancer.
and that's where we learned from. And we learned so well that we started performing within the Filipino community and the community in general to represent the Filipinos and to show off our culture.
How does it feel like that you're being raised in both? I like these two cultures, the U.S. and Philippines.
I'll tell you what, I think that's an advantage, because you grew up with both cultures, Filipino as well as we call
Yeah.
Western culture, right, in the
That's a
United
good
States.
thing because you don't forget how Filipino culture is
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
The only thing that can be, I don't know, looked down on me, particularly here, is one of the questions they'll ask is, "Hey, you know how to speak Tagalog or Ilocano or whatever dialect or Visayan, And unfortunately, I have to say, no, I don't know any of them, and that kind of burns me inside in a good way because it made me want to learn. So, and because I plan to be living in the Philippines 9 out of the 12 months of the year because I'm retired now,
Yeah.
and I made a decision that I want to retire to the surprise of my siblings. So what? So yeah.
So you're ready to settle here
I,
in Philippines?
hey, I've been preparing for the last 2 or 3 years, especially after
Wow.
watching the vloggers on YouTube to learn what Philippines is all about. As I was alluded to earlier, I know almost every island and all the places that I want to go to, which I did. I've been here almost 2 months now, and one of the purposes was to travel different islands to
Yeah.
visit and see how each place is. I knew the places already.
Did you visit some islands here around?
Yeah, I started to go there in Luzon.
Luzon.
I landed in Angeles,
Yes.
so I stayed there for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and just I didn't go anywhere other than Angeles City.
How is Angeles City?
Oh, that was kind of busy over there. A lot of
Lot of bars.
Well, I didn't go to. I think you're referring to Walking Street. I never had a chance to go there, but I will. It's part of the scene, right?
Yes.
And I'm going back tomorrow. But anyway, I spent 2 weeks there. Then I came to Dumaguete here
Yeah.
at the.
You stayed here for long.
Yeah, the first trip here, I was here for 2 weeks, and then after that, I traveled to Panay Island to visit Iloilo and Calibo,
Yeah.
and then from there, I went to visit Mindanao, Davao City. So these are the islands that I wanted to visit. I had in my schedule already,
Nice.
and I'm glad I did. There's a lot of other islands and a lot of other locations to visit, but these were my priority for the first trip. And
Here in Dumaguete.
Dumaguete was one of them. You know,
Yeah, one of them.
I like that because
Yeah.
that's where a lot of vloggers are, including you,
So
right? And I did meet one other vlogger, and but I never got a chance because I didn't go out to where they hang out. And I know that they, a lot of the vloggers, they kind of
then I gotta
go
go
to a
there.
certain place.
Yeah.
Like I know Valencia has a lot of vloggers there, but over here in Dumaguete City, they tend to go to like
The
what's that?
ground zero.
Yeah, Ground Zero. I never had a chance to go
never.
to, but I will. But it wasn't priority. I want to.
Yes.
My priority was to hang out with the locals. So I stuck
Yeah.
around over here um, by uh, uh, by the park, uh, and because there's mostly Filipinos there. I hardly
Yes.
saw any foreigners, including Bethel guest hotel where I stayed primarily because of the location.
Have you tried balot?
No, and I
Would
don't
you
have any
try?
plans to.
You don't want to try.
Oh, who knows? But it's
Maybe.
very doubtful. Just like what's that fruit?
Durian.
Durian. I might try it. I just plug my nose and go at it.
Actually, durian is good when
Oh, I heard
when
it.
when you put it in the freezer and then before you
Oh,
eat
so the
it.
smell goes away
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah, and the smell is not really that bad. If
Yeah,
it's
that's what they say. But I mean, I smell just about everything, right? Come on.
still
Everyone
the
smelled
same.
their own socks before, so I figured, hey, if you can get through that, I'm sure I can go through that
Yeah.
fruit.
So, how was your perspective on life change after visiting, or is there any changes after
Oh,
visiting here?
visiting here, yeah. You know what? One of the things I think that what's important is that uh, it will prepare me so much better when I return back when I return in January.
Mm.
Okay, because having gone through the first trip, actually being here in person compared to virtual trips like I've done on YouTube,
Yes.
that's all I've done.
Yes.
It's totally different. It's like my first day after I got off the airport here in Dumaguete. I thought I knew Dumaguete. I saw every,
Yeah.
the Rizal Park,
Yes. Yes.
and so forth. But you know what? When I was on the trike, so that's another thing too. That's the first time I've been. Well, actually, my second time. I rode the trike in Angeles, so I kind of knew
Yeah.
that was the mode of transportation here in Dumaguete. But on my way to the hotel, we went through downtown,
Yeah.
and going through downtown was an eye opener because that's not what I saw on YouTube.
Oh, you did not saw that.
No.
Oh, really?
Well, I may have, but hardly, maybe a glimpse. But
Yeah,
but
glimpse.
being there in person, you know, the street side on your right, to the left, and you see the people, the different shops,
Exactly.
the smell, everything, just how busy it was.
Yeah.
With all the motorcycles and trikes, you hardly saw cars, except for the private ones. Which was more prevalent in Angeles because there's a lot of
Taxi.
taxis, besides trikes. Here, trikes was the mode of transportation.
You never had a chance to rent a motorbike, or you don't want to?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm too afraid over here. I don't want to get injured.
Exactly.
Maybe when I move to that location that I told you where I might end up, or likely will end up staying, I might, because it's a little slower pace, which is what place I was looking for. It's not as busy as it is over here in Dumaguete or Davao City, and Iloilo too. Although, I think their roads are a lot more wider and more spacious, so you don't get, and they do get busy in Iloilo. Okay, don't get me wrong.
So you're talking about
The
you're
traffic.
moving in
Oh.
Iloilo.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, well, that was part of why I came for this first trip, to find where might I want to be,
Yeah.
to use as a home base.
Cool.
And I think I found that place. It's not the McKinney, but this is going to be one of my favorite places to go visit. And visiting other places will be a frequent thing that I will be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, but as far as a home base, I think I selected the Calibo over there in the Panay Island. That's the place that I want to spend, most of my time. And fortunately for me, I do have a friend who is a
There.
vlogger, who, showed me around,
Oh.
and will be there whenever I need. So, yeah,
Nice.
he's a Filipino American. He was born here too.
Oh.
Yeah, he went into the United States Air Force, retired, and came back, I think, in his early 40s, and selected, Boracay was his place.
Oh. So
And
it just
actually,
goes
after a
by.
couple of years, he just found a place near Calibo, and now he's married to a Filipina. And
From
so,
Aklan also.
yeah, so that is where I want to start as my home base. And then from there, go visit other places, while I'm here.
Eh? 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 Eh?
Okay. Okay. So, what are your favorite aspects of Filipino culture that you've reconnected since you visit here or came back?
Well, culinary food has always been one of my favorite, and so I haven't gone everywhere because I want to be where the locals go to eat, uh, and I still need to do that as part of my adventure. Another is um, performance, the, performing the culture, particularly dance, and I had an opportunity to uh,
So,
view that during they had a thing going on last weekend. They had a parade
oh, there.
over there at the park. Yeah, and
Ah,
so I saw,
that is a festival.
yeah, the festival, and I think a lot of barangays were represented, and they each had a large group of. Most of them were made up of students, but they were
Yes.
dancing and everything. That's what I love, and I took a lot of videos and
Ah,
photos. It's
yes.
something that I like to enjoy because I grew up doing that. So that's one thing that I enjoy very much, and I like dancing too, even social dancing.
Any challenge that did you face any challenges when you were
Or will
yeah.
language.
Language? Oh,
I need to
okay.
learn, so it's a challenge. No doubt about that. But I will learn at least at the beginning phrases that I can use when I can talk with the locals. Now I refer to them as locals. Locals are the ones who live here, uh, and I can blend in easily because by virtue of who I am
Yes.
and how I look until I start talking. So I don't want to give that away. So I better start learning some phrases and learn some basic design. Since I think the areas that I'll be
Yeah.
staying will be basically design.
Iloilo is Ilonggo, so you will practice Ilonggo.
That's what I learned too. Not only that, but you go to Aklan, they have
Aklan is different.
Aklanan, or whatever they
My
have their
God.
own.
Yes, they
So
have
I'm
like
learning very quickly that there's a lot. Well, I've always known there's a lot of dialects.
yes.
I mean, it could be hundreds of dialects because depending on where you're at, particularly out in the province.
Yeah, it's not only Tagalog and Bisaya. There's a
Yeah, those are the major ones.
So, what advice would you give to another or to other Filipino Americans considering a move back to Philippines for life or
Well,
later in life?
if they're Philippine born, is to don't hesitate to make a visit, especially if you're not retirement age yet. Then you can decide later when you're retired whether that's for you
Yes.
to come over here and spend your retirement time. But at least do what I did. You know, start earlier, start exploring. Now that you have multimedia like YouTube, uh, TikTok, uh, and you know you can just go and just search yourself, Google Map and everything, and you know learn about the Philippines. You know, and you know if you were born here, you probably have no history of the Philippines already. I grew up in the U.S., but I also took Filipino history, so you know learn the history of the Philippines, and you know then make a visit. And for those who were born in the U.S., do the same. Start early and start preparing to visit because it's totally different being a Filipino American in the U.S. than you are
Yeah.
visiting here in the Philippines as a Filipino.
It's like you are all also a tourist.
Yeah. Well, you will be a
You will be
tourist
a tourist because you don't know.
unless you're lucky like me, who was born here. You could be a balikbayan tourist and get a tourist visa. This gives you a whole year to be here without having to renew. Like unlike the tourist visa,
Tourist visa.
you got 30 days that you have to renew this time.
But you're in a tourist visa right now.
Hmm?
You're in a tourist visa.
Huh?
Tourist visa. Are you in a tourist visa?
Balikbayan
Oh,
visa.
balikbayan. Oh, better.
It's also a form of tourist visa. It's just that balikbayan means you're born here, and given that, you're allowed to be here up to a year.
Yeah. You can tell any to the viewers your status. Are you single or are you
I'm
looking
single.
for or what?
Am I looking for a Filipino?
Oh, are you single? Are you married?
I'm open. I'm open. So I guess that would be a yes
You're a
answer.
single and you're open for relationship.
Yeah, find some, of friendship first, and then go from there.
Oh yeah.
It all starts with friendship, right? So
Yeah.
I'm actually directly saying, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship. But what is that? A friendship relationship, or because that's a form of relationship. So, but that's where you want to start anyway. Yes, find out if you guys are compatible.
So Mr. Robin is looking for a Filipina. Yeah.
Friend.
A Filipino friend. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Robin, for.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Anyways, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Oh,
Such an honor to
you're
have
welcome. I've been looking forward to this.
you. Yeah. It's been a while since you were here, and now it's just.
So I met Mary Vic. I think it was like at the start of January,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's January.
and through there I met another friend of hers.
Jane.
Yeah, who I also met when I got here too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after a party that I went to like over a week ago, I met two more who happens to be very close to Mary Vic and Jane.
Yes.
And we'll be having dinner with them shortly.
All right. I'm going
So
to end this.
anyway,
Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe. Bye bye.
salamat.